So I haven't had enough of Krillbite Studios, nor have I had enough of odd philosophical story-like games. So we're back with Krillbite, Krillbite, whatever. And their second game, I brought it up last Friday, called Sunlight. We're gonna see what it's all about. Options. They have graphics. Oh, dude, high. 4 frames. 1 frame, 2 frame. Just gonna turn that down here, so it's less of a nuisance to you guys. Maybe 60. All right, that works. All the way through. Onward.
Welcome. Are you sitting comfortably? Are you focused and not thinking about whatever's bothering you these days? I'm not here to test you. Please relax. Let your thoughts come and go and listen as they fade away in the distance. For better or for worse, this is where your life has brought you. Looking at a screen, listening to me. Imagine, for a moment, that you've just had a child. It's healthy, but unfortunately also completely blind. For their whole life, they will live in the dark and not see a thing. Their perception of reality is something that you might never be able to comprehend. How would you describe the world to them? What can't be touched or heard, smelled or tasted? How would you describe sunlight? By what it does? Or how it feels on their skin? I think I'd play them this piece of music. First composed by Tchaikovsky in 1878, these rays of light have traveled through decade after decade, finally reaching your ears this very moment. You have also traveled far to get here today, but you're only passing through and should probably get going.
1. Sounds like an aged Winnie the Pooh.
While you're here, I'd like to tell you a story.
And I love it.
It all happened to me when I was young, walking in a forest much like you are. Those were days
filled with boundaries and rules. No running in the hallways,
don't do this or that or the other.
With my world full of fierce discipline, I walked the forests to breathe.
One day, deep in the woods, I found a funny-looking tree, crooked, old, and wrinkly.
With little work, a few bits of bark became huge ships. Calm creeks turned to ferocious oceans.
I can still recall the people I imagined dragged downstream with a sense of guilt. As I gazed back upon the old tree, I noticed something peculiar. It was crying. Every crumple,
like eyes closed tightly.
Clear drops streaming silently down its wrinkly skin. So I did, as children do.
Tasted it. Not because it looked tasty, but to figure out
what it was. The first drop made my tongue tingle. The second made it prickle.
And the very moment the third landed on my tongue,
a profound sensation spread through my chest.
Bounces
Undefinable, like thirst.
Both vague and specific.
in the
One thing
headphones.
was clear. Something was changing within me. I remember breathing
It's like
in,
schizo.
And
Or-
out. Feeding the fire.
That's some cool technology they have to. Oh man, it's really trippy. It's like not, I said like schizo, but it's having 1,000 voices in your head. I see that over there. What are you? Maybe we should start. They're everywhere. I don't know which one to go for first. You can't go any faster or any slower. None of the controls do anything. Other than, I believe, and I only know this. Yes, you can pick up flowers.
Following day, I woke to a slight prickle in my fingertips.
I studied them closely, discovering circular ridges in the foreign landscape of my skin. The prickling soon slipped my attention. It would be another week until it returned. A
Wave of gentle needles moving over my skin. A limb falling asleep, perhaps.
I did not start worrying until it returned the third
Time.
first making its way up my neck, before engulfing my skull
completely from behind.
I could even feel the tiny needles covering my eyeballs. But it did not stop there.
I held my breath as the small thorns crawled around my lips before spreading into my lungs and stomach. My awareness spread with it, and I remembered the strangest sensation of my mushy dinner in there,
As if I held its remains in the palm of my hand.
That one. Going for that one. This is super trippy.
Suddenly, my body took control and opened my mouth. An explosion of air rushing into my lungs.
The tingling spread with it through an endless web of veins, soon reaching my beating heart.
For a moment, I stood in awe of the activity.
Within my body.
I felt my heart beating faster and my skin sweating.
Your
Your body is
your only vessel in this world.
And when it misbehaves, the
The
claustrophobia
claustrophobia
is
is
total.
total.
Seek help, I thought. And at that very moment, the tingling needle shot from my brain down
Down
to
to
my
my
spine.
spine.
I
I
felt
felt scatter through my upper leg. My muscles contracted to lift my knee. My body weight shifted forward.
And a shockwave spread from the foot sole.
as it landed softly on the ground. The process repeated itself in greater detail for every step. I was overwhelmed, but my body kept moving.
I did not at all feel like the boss, giving directions. It all happened automatically.
And I was simply
Along for the ride. Like you.
Like me? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time to talk. I don't dare step over the dialogue, the narrative. You, coming for you. A really pretty choir music as well. Not surprised given what they delivered in the plan.
The doctor's office was cold and white. Crossing the floor felt like a polar expedition. My parents' distant features of the landscape. I wanted to explain, but was unable. My lips and tongue engaged in an intricate choreography, myself in the audience observing the words performed.
He sounds familiar.
My lips
muttered, "I'm sure it will pass," while my thoughts were crying for help.
I'll be completely honest. Like, I feel like I'm having so much, like, not necessarily sensory overload, but like, I'm kind of lost in the story. Like, I might have to replay this again and listen very, very closely. This one. All I have right now is that he's did something, got hurt at the doctor's office now.
The conversation kept going, but I stopped paying attention. Instead, I was following the hands of
Of a clock mounted on the doctor's wall. They were both speeding up and slowing down. I was
slipping further and further away.
A levitating camera in a video game merging with the code.
It was running on, again with a binary, with electronic circuit and so on. I closed my eyes and
Let my sensations lead me. First, I spent some time with my bones. Among their many functions, I got lost in their continuous breathing.
An uninterrupted flow of calcium absorbed
and released. Even my skeleton was alive and living.
In and of itself. I could feel my mind
clinging to the known, to the clattering thoughts,
The buzzing of memories veers for the future. But for each breath, tension was released, and my shoulders sunk comfortably.
It certainly felt like I was in there.
somewhere behind my face.
But I was nowhere to be found. And the more I looked, the more hazy I became.
That was cool when they breathed in or took that breath, the wind moved. So it prompted me to go this direction. I think I'm just gonna keep going this direction. We're gonna go for that bad boy. And I don't know how long this is supposed to be, but who cares?
When my eyelids eventually opened, they felt as slow as a sunrise. Photons
converted to neurosignals shooting along the optic nerve, each carrying a piece of information into the darkness. The brain categorized motion, color,
Edges, distance. I sat for a moment
in the dusk,
Watching the sunset.
When the world
Eventually lit up.
I was no longer wondering why matter lights up from the inside.
My experience had changed from the fire to the light it emits. But it would get much stranger still.
I like that voice.
As the moon stretched, I started daydreaming. Or so I thought. It began as a shimmering field creeping slowly in.
from the periphery of my vision, the hands of the clock still moving, but among them vague shapes.
Slowly, but surely, I saw trees.
Blowing past me, and among them, myself, sitting right there in the doctor's office.
with a vacant expression.
While walking around myself, I was surprised to still see the clock straight ahead.
Myself from the side, the clock on the wall.
The two images were not overlapping,
They just coexisted.
Like imagining a familiar place with your eyes closed and you see both nothing
and something.
at the same time. I turned to look toward myself, but saw only the face of the doctor, lingering somewhere between confusion, concern,
and annoyance. However, when I studied his face closer,
I was struck by terror.
The image of myself had turned to look.
straight into my own eyes.
I felt my own hand reach out.
towards myself.
The weight of my hand landing softly on my own shoulder.
Eyes distant, looking at the doctor, looking at myself. Rules and boundaries disappearing.
Is that child in the background? It's freaking me out. It's so delayed, you can't ignore her. She doesn't blend in with anything else.
The fire was spreading. A delicate wave of nostalgia washing over me.
Intimate recollections of past sorrow, relationships,
Education and even medical experience.
And at last,
I was
no longer alone. Not in the sense that the doctor was there in the room, but rather that we were together in the darkness of my mind. A vast number of sensations were still flowing, but now with two observers to share the burden.
God, they're in my brain, bro. In my brain.
Out of sight, a hand picked me up. And as I kept breathing, the fire kept spreading. Soon, it swallowed my parents, sitting in their chairs, doubting my story. I felt contradicting opinions and ideas coexist, but not in conflict. Different notes in harmonious chords, shaping a balanced, indivisible whole.
More clouds spread into my vision, and more sensations through my body. The music was evolving.
I looked at my hand. 5 fingers against the surface felt no different than 5 bodies
or minds. Branches becoming aware that they were connected to the same truth all along.
Their experience my own, all of them present in my mind.
No, come back. I like that voice. Olivier. It's kind of like a bedtime story. It's an odd mix of relaxation and suspense. Get there.
The prickling kept spreading. Each needle on my skin, another presence in my mind. More and more observers sharing the burden. A vast number of sensations flowing. My world, like musical sunlight,
Just passing through. Every individual going about their business.
strangers on the street unaware that they were all each other, their surroundings,
And me.
I knew and felt them all as I knew and felt myself. And I could no longer feel contempt, or that anyone was somehow less deserving.
Winnie the Pooh.
There was no longer me and you, no us versus them. It was all just me.
No! Come back. I don't know if I should go with or against the wind. Let's go against the wind. You know, if this is on a trackable map, it'd be interesting to see your path after it all wraps up. Let's see where you wandered.
I kept breathing in.
And out. Each new breath pushed me along.
A ubiquitous landscape that was simply too beautiful to ignore.
What lay past each tree and beyond every hill was another idea I knew
to be true.
Mountains, transient shadows of matter flowing through time.
Slowly, from one point of view. But for the mountain itself, oh boy.
It's in a hurry, like everyone else.
Both the whirlpool and the stream. An expression of energy
Floating through empty space.
Winnie the Pooh.
All experiences merging to one.
There I was, all of us, you, me, I. The light that shines through the film. All else is smoke and mirrors.
God, I love that voice. I don't know who that is. I'm gonna have to find out after this. It's so good though. Bob and weave.
As with all stories,
This one also ends. Not because the story has an ending, but because it keeps moving, leaving us behind.
My body kept living like yours will.
The surface is preserving its illusion of separateness.
This screen, our very own eyes.
I couldn't tell if I ascended or dissolved. I'm soaring through space.
But unable to move, nevertheless.
and as I turn in orbit,
The boundary between life and dark keeps moving.
a cascading wave of thoughts,
arriving at dawn, just to slip away as dust.
Coming for you. Yeah, still can't get over like all those voices. If you get a little too close, they just tickling the left and the right of my brain. It's crazy.
A violent competition on a speck of dust suspended in nothing.
An energy field fumbling in the dark.
Trying to describe myself.
I want to be safe, well fed, not too warm nor too cold, to be acknowledged by my closest. So even though you are another part of me looking back, you will always be a stranger, a lump of
Resources for my exploitation. The branches cut. Our hemispheres separated once again. Rocks skipping along the surface, never sinking in. The inconsistent dash of beauty between the noise, picked up by a stranger with good intentions, and with it sentenced to die.
I don't care who you are
or how you found me.
but we are both reaching in.
A few lonely rays venturing through space
In just the right direction.
Absorbed in our leaves, stored as sweet sugars,
and
exhaled as crisp
and clean oxygen.
And while the light warms our skin, or while we wait for the next sunrise,
We breathe in and out.
all that matters is that you are
here right now.
And for a moment,
We are together. You and me as one.
like we always are.
And always will be.
Cosmos. Remember Cosmos? Remember, nothing to say. These are other... I'm so tired. Light just changed. Oh. Where'd my forest go? Kirby was here. Cosmos. I played a game today. Absolutely marvelous. So these gotta be players, right? Leaving their impressions. What? Yeah. Same. Seed. Nice. There you go. End. True. An end. Yes. This is just go on forever. I'm quite competitive, so... Seems kind of desolate over here. Maybe we put it down over here. Or do we have to pick a... Do we have to pick a stump? I feel like we have to pick a stump. That's why they light up. Maybe we don't have to pick a stump. I don't know. The stump's not lighting up. Oh yeah, it's real desolate out here. There, I see a big one. Right there. We're gonna go to that one. We'll put it down there. Now I gotta figure out what we're gonna say though. Maybe just fiend. I don't know. There's more over there. Can we place it on this one? We can. What happens if we... Oh. I'm not sure. I think maybe we just give him a fin. And that's that. Nice. Krillbite, creative producer, programmer, art design, environmental artist, environment, Q&A porting, voice actors. There wasn't as many as I thought, so we definitely heard them more than once, but they seemed... That was the choir. Office dogs. It certainly wasn't... Certainly wasn't as many. And we're back at the beginning. Funds. Alright. Thanks. Bye.